All right, what do we got? Aerial spec. Okay, giant spec. Um, Fairly good pack against his units. Is it going to be hounds? Because you'd imagine he's going to go... Could go hounds himself. Arc lights could be an option, but it's probably... Could be Void Eye. Could be a lot of things. Could be... What is the best generically good unit here? Hounds probably, but they do die to this. Is it just more crawlers? Just to see what he does? Is it... I mean, we don't have any chaff clear. Is it arc lights? Right? Could be arc lights. It's arc lights or hounds. Let's just go for the hounds since we do have the option of going fire. Okay. Improved fire control system. Yeah, I think it's just going to be a skip and we go into Phoenix or Phantom Rays. I think Phantom Rays is pretty good here. Actually, yeah, we didn't have money for the item anyways. All right, Mustangs, not what we wanted to see, but makes a lot of sense. It's just good chaff for him overall. It's good for some. It's good if we go Phoenixes, but in this case, the Phantom Rays are working better than the Phoenixes because you could see here it does clear chaff a lot better. We're even able to clear out the Mustangs. So this is one example where the Phantom Rays are better, but you could easily have a backline of Phoenixes. I don't know how many more Phantom Rays we should go for. This could be really deadly for us. Rhino. I don't know if we need the Rhino. Might be a little bit too much of an overplay. Plus, I think he goes, the Rhino will get aggroed. So we'll just skip. Could level this up. Still need a source of fire, but I don't really want to click any buttons because, you know, it could end up being countered too easily. So let's go for some Phoenixes behind. Could go for another hound in the middle, or if we're planning to go fire, or we could just go for another crawler. Probably crawler is better in a vacuum, but if we want to go fire from the hounds, then we need to go hound. It just depends. I don't want to go fire from the hound, even though we have 2 hounds. Do we ever missile just to get a little bit of like traction? Okay, it's Raiden time. Hounds in the middle probably wouldn't have done that much. You know, is what I was thinking. Like, at least the chaff acts as chaff. So, yeah, Phoenixes are going to be a little bit useless because we don't have we're not clearing the chaff well enough. But on this side, we're doing a little better. Just that we're playing symmetrically. He's playing asym. I wonder if this is supposed to be like a horrible will or something. Maybe not. Mass-produced sandworm. Okay. Yeah, he has every single option to do so many things. Okay, this is not great for us. We don't really. I mean, we want wasps, but the problem is these Mustangs. It's going to be a huge problem. The Wraith's probably better in a vacuum. And it is a lot more money, it looks like. So we'll go for the Wraith. Probably start selling out, but let's just see how it does before we sell out. So at this point, we're going to need to go fire. So the question is, do we unlock? Do we just go for the Vulcan here? Or do we try to do it real cheap? And we get, you know, horribly countered. He doesn't have anything here really. That's, yeah, that's the problem. This is the big question. How worth it is it to get a Vulcan? It's probably fairly worth it. Just sucks to have to, you know, do that. I mean, we could try first with this and then go for a Vulcan later, maybe. Just that we don't have that much money to be going for so many things. We'll look at this guy a little bit further back, and yeah, we didn't mean to do this, sell, but at least, I don't know, at least we'll go for an oil first. And at least this guy can tank a few shots from the Wraith. Do some chaff clear. So, yeah, I think that oil was pretty key here. We're going to need to regain our momentum, if at all possible. Are there any hounds left that can spread fire? What happened to the hounds here? You go for missile interceptor? How come this isn't on fire? Oof, that's not good. How did this not spread on fire? That was our oil round too. That's very, very bad. Did we sell that? Oh my goodness, why did we sell that? So we need to sell this stuff. We don't even want to sell this. Why did we sell that? Oh my god. Okay. So there's nothing really here that we want to use. We're gonna need to start selling out of the correct units now. Now we're kind of committed into this hound play. The Phoenixes are good. Wasps could be good if we can get fire on this backline, but it's kind of weird. Maybe just Phantom Rays with more, with a shield. This is not good, but I don't know what else to do. At least it doesn't go for the crawlers. This is way better than a crawler for us. I don't know why he went for the Fang. May not even get ignition onto our oil. And this is kind of good because it makes some of his stuff flow in a little bit slower. It's going to be a pretty useless tower timing. Looks like the shield on the Phantom Ray was good. Okay, Marksman could be interesting. With Wasp could also be interesting. Marksman, I think, is probably the best bet, but we are really weak to... I guess we're really weak to the Wasps. That's the problem. So we have to choose this, because he's just going to go Wasp, right? There's no way he's not going Wasp. So we'll choose this, but then this is kind of weak to his Raidens. So there's quite a lot of problems. I think we go for this just in case, just because it's slightly better if we're going to go fire. I don't know about AE spec on these guys, but if he does commit, then we'll go for AE spec. At this point, it's probably more Phoenixes. We can click range. And perhaps another Typhoon on this side. It's just that it's going to be a little awkward with the with how everything's kind of being with the oil here. It's really awkward with that, so that's what I don't love. Okay, he actually goes for the Typhoon himself. Well, at least the Typhoon's kind of good for chaff clear, so it's not really the worst thing. Oh wow, this Phoenix is legendary. Could even consider range on the Phoenix. I mean, energy shield, but usually the charge shot is better. So Wasp Swarm probably doesn't do that much for us, but it's not horrible. Probably doesn't do that much though. Maybe we take it anyways for the money. It's pretty cheap. Do we start getting rid of the Wraiths now? What do the Wraiths do? At least nothing on this side. And yeah. We'll just continue to... Do we even need to missile this? What does that even accomplish? Looks like the Phantom Rays are pretty good in terms of tanking. At least on this side. I think it's a mix of more Phantom Rays and... It's really hard to say. We do have to go for the factory soon, but I think it's a couple more Phoenixes. I want to go charge shot. And we'll start going for this range. Just that this is kind of our weak side. We're playing pretty symmetrically. He's playing asymmetrically. It's not great. Okay. More Raidens. Our range is going to be under the Raiden's range, but it doesn't matter. Because we have a front line, and, you know. Now it looks like the Wasps are actually kind of useful. They're not completely useless. Problem is these Mustangs here. And that's just a crap ton of damage. Now I'm thinking we need to go factory here. Firebat, the Vulcans are great, but it's... I don't know about the Vulcans. The Vulcans are great though. Just so we can get some more long-range fire down. But we need to click the incendiary, I think. The oil does come back off cooldown. And maybe we go for energy shield. Some wasps are good actually. Let's throw in a few wasps. It's not horrible, I think, to go for a few wasps. And wasps could get shield. Let's go for shield on these guys. And I guess it's going to be only aerial spec, which is not great, but it's not horrible. It does keep us a little bit further away from him. The Fire Badger makes no sense. The only sense it makes is it's a tank that does nothing. The forts are really good, especially if he clicks AA spec. Yep. However, the Phantom Race will still be tanking. I'm actually happy to see this because I'm more worried about more Raidens. Because if he clicks the technology, like chain or something, I think that's worse for us just because he has so many. And we did click shield, so like the fire is really good here. Just the one or two last kind of you know, units here that's causing the problem, but can we get on top? No. How much did these guys do? 30,000? These guys did, they did a lot actually, so maybe this was the right play. Was our wasps the correct play? I mean, we got the fire as far as we possibly could have there. All right, so let's assume that we made the wrong play on the wasps, right? We can assume that. So what we need is, I guess, more Phoenix, but the problem is the chaff clear, right? But then the problem is the shield. So there's so many problems, but I still think that the Phoenix is probably a better option. Now, we don't have enough money for the... We don't actually have enough money for the shield. Could always consider EMP, but I don't think the EMP does so much. We'll do this. We'll do this. And put down the oil here. 200 in missiles, no idea what to do. This missile is pretty good, actually. Are we actually able to win this side because of the missiles? Wait, we are. So, yeah, we just had to keep going more Phoenixes, even though it kind of didn't make sense. It was just better than the Wasps. So, I think those side missiles kind of made a lot of sense. Okay, looks like we're not going to be able to win this, but still. Compared to how badly we lost. Now, does EMP do anything? What if we go for EMP instead of the shield? The shield does a lot. Let's just say the shield does a lot. The electromag, you know, maybe we click both. I don't know. Does clicking both do anything? So essentially we have the quad tech. We're not making any connection to the forts or the Raidens, so the EMPs don't seem to be that effective. Like, maybe now. And then... what about now? Like, this is pretty good. So maybe it is quad tech. Okay, that's interesting. What about just EMP only? Is EMP better than the shield in this case? I think we were actually lucky to get this drop. So we really shouldn't have lost this. And maybe the this guy is like less useful. So maybe this is just a better play overall, because we still get our phoenixes. But you'd imagine the range is pretty important. Do we ever just distract him with one of these crawlers? Hold some of his units back? Or is that going to be bad for us because we want his Mustangs to burn more? For sure, the Typhoons are the most useless part of the army. And I think the distraction actually helped him more than... it just made his units come in a lot later. So that's the worst possible result. Is there any validity to just going EMP? Well, with this setup, we can go for both. But again, we do not have enough for the range. But is that okay? Do we need the range? I think we do. I think it's always a mistake not to get range, but that being said, there's always a front line and there's always a back line. He always outranges us in every single situation. It's just a matter of, is there enough front line left to deal with his units? Yeah, it seems like the for some reason, I think the range is more important than even a technology. So if we want to sell this guy, let's just try only EMP. That's going to be pretty risky because we're going to be under threat from the forts. To be honest, I don't think the EMP is worth as much as the shield, just because we need the survivability. could see we're just getting ripped apart here. All right, so we'll try it again, just selling this guy instead of the Wraith. Go for shield. This is definitely a game we could have won because, you know, he went for the Fang instead of the Crawler. You know, he went for the Fire Badger instead of, you know, something that could have been way worse. Okay, and what about a factory? Does a factory work here? Just go for broke. If we go for a factory, do we want to go for a cell? Probably. Well, I think we'd still sell out of this. Go for armor. Probably a beacon. Perhaps we need range and speed. So what is the other technology here? Is it just going to be a beacon? Do we ever go for... Let's go for the photon coating. That can't be horrible. And I don't think we necessarily need to missile this. It's, I mean, well, we might as well go for speed. War Factory sitting in the oil is not great. Looks like it is firing out of maybe 3. I don't think we needed the photon. The only problem is that the Raidens, they still lock onto the Phoenixes. See? And that's the problem. Maybe the best play here is just go for a factory. You weren't so off there. Just with armor is enough for now. Maybe we'll just try it on this side since the oil's coming down on the other side. Probably missile this. Would like to get shield, but we cannot afford it. So we'll just go for range speed. Maybe a beacon. Let's go for missiles. We just want maximum short-term value. The War Factory works surprisingly well against his composition. And I think that's like the game finisher there. 3,500 damage. Surely he doesn't even start with that much. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like another War Factory actually solution is the best way to play this. And if not that, you know, the Quad Tech Phoenixes looks good, but I think the War Factory is just such an amazing unit to use. So it's going to be War Factory against Raidens and the Mustangs.